Hey, welcome to Anderson's Outdoors, and today I want to tell you about our brand new Jayco pop-up. We're pretty excited about it, and I'm going to give you a tour. Here's what she looks like all down and in her shell, and here it is popped up. So I'm just going to show you a few features in the front. This comes with a stereo and speakers, and it also has this handy little rack to hold our propane stove that it comes with. It comes with a 2-burner propane stove, and it sits on this rack. So the nice thing about this is that it has an outside gas hookup, so we can plug in this propane stove and cook outside, or we can just get a gas grill and hook it up to that hookup. This pop-up came with a propane tank and a battery, and the propane tank will run our heater, our refrigerator, and all of our cooking appliances. And our battery will run all of our lights and fans. So we can be off-grid. We don't have to be at a campground if we want to go camping in national parks or state parks, places that don't have hookups generally. We also have a water tank, a 36-gallon water tank that we can fill and bring with us, so that when we are camping, we also can have our water with us and we don't have to be hooked up for that. But if we want to be hooked up, we do have a city water connection, which just means that it will be hooked up in the campground and we can just run our sink and we'll have running water in the pop-up, which is really nice. And then we also have an electrical hookup so that we can plug in the pop-up and run our lights and charge our battery. This is the hot air release from our furnace, and then this is the vent for our refrigerator. Now we're going to do a tour of the inside of the pop-up. See you in there. This is the table area, and the nice thing about having this table is that this can go outside, and we do intend to eat outside at a picnic table most of the time, but if it's raining we can sit in here and eat, and that's a really nice feature to have, and probably one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to get a pop-up is so that we had a way to get out of the weather if we needed to. And this is the sort of kitchen area. The stove goes here, the stove that's outside goes here, and it also has a gas hookup, but we do intend to do most of our cooking outside, and so this will probably be more like a bathroom sink cleanup kind of an area. And it has, if the tank is full, it has running water. And this is the bunk end that the girls are going to be sleeping on. Ours is a little bit bigger, but it looks pretty much the same. And another feature of this pop-up is that it has a Jackknife Couch that can turn into a bed, which is actually really nice. And it turns into a bed, and it's easy to do that with. So if we have friends that want to come along and just have a place to sleep, they have a place. Okay, so the camper came with these storage containers, which are really nice. They hang on these already mounted brackets, so if we don't like these storage containers, we can replace them with something else that might hang and be a little bit more sturdy. I'm not sure, but it is nice to have that. It also has this little cabinet here, and this is where we're going to store our luggable loo, which is our little bucket toilet that we can use at night. The luggable loo probably deserves its own video. This is not going to be a composting toilet. It's going to be cat litter, but basically what it does is it keeps me from having to go on the vault toilet. I hate vault toilets. I hate them. And then there's storage under this, so I just as a bin basically. And then there's a couple of storage compartments here. This is a pretty small one. It might fit a shoebox size storage in there. And then this is a little bit bigger. It goes all the way to the floor, so we could stack a few things in there. And then there's a storage underneath this Jackknife Couch, which there's a lot of storage under there, so I think we can definitely keep a lot of stuff in the camper. And then this storage container is like that one, hangs from the ceiling. This pop-up has all LED lights, and it comes with these handy little fans that are battery, that work on the battery, so it can anyway, so those are pretty handy to have that. They have like high and low and light. And LED lights, very handy. smoke alarm, so we're safe. And fantastic fan that will just suck the air right out of here and help us feel cool. There's a stereo, a cable hookup, and a plug. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of our camping plans. We live in the desert Southwest, and there are many national parks and many state parks where we live, so there are plenty of places to camp. Just south of us we have Carlsbad Caverns and Guadalupe Mountains National Park in Texas. And if you go a little bit further down into Texas, there's Big Bend National Park. If you head into Arizona, there's Petrified Forest National Park and also the Grand Canyon. North of us in Colorado, there's Great Sand Dunes and Mesa Verde National Park. So all of those national parks are within a day's drive of us.
Even within a couple of hours drive of us here, we've got a number of places that we hope to kind of hit up on a regular basis. One that we've already checked out before we got the pop-up called Bandelier National Monument. And then there's the Pecos Mountains, the Jaymas Mountains, some amazing hikes and really good fishing in the Jaymas Mountains. The Pecos Wilderness, which is also about an hour and a half northeast of here, same thing. Just tremendous amount of trails and little creeks and lakes and things like that.
Thanks for tuning into this edition of Anderson's Outdoors.